No, I'm just kidding.
More protein.
Added flavor. Gorgon's like, more protein. Yeah, an added flavor.
So as a worker is passing by pushing a cart, he sort of looks at you inquisitively. You're not from around these parts?
No, that's right. We've we come in search of someone.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
Out of character. Who we looking for?
We're looking
Charles.
for Charles Delaney.
There we go.
Why Charles Delaney, of course.
He sort of gives you a skeptical look and says, really? He doesn't have many visitors.
Well, we're really just here to bring a message to him, is all.
I see. I'll take you to him then.
Thank you, sirs.
You make your way through the mining area and are surprised by just how efficiently they are able to extract minerals. Seems like they're quite productive.
Les wants to whisper to Gorgon, do you think it's the same setup as they had at the loom? You should try to identify some of their equipment.
To what end?
I just mean, they had that, he whispers, that magical loom, right?
It wasn't, the loom wasn't magical though, was it?
They had something.
No, it wasn't.
It was just
It was just highly advanced?
Well, no, like, the mill was mostly filled with spinning machines, which spin wool into yarn. And then a weaving machine it's a completely different thing. So it's actually like an auto loom or mechanical.
What's it
loom.
called? A spinning jenny?
What I just
yeah,
did is,
that actually spins yarn.
The loom works was highly advanced, and I'm just wondering if this place is similar.
Looms were actually created after the spinning jennies and spinning machines. So yeah, that's why it's a little bit more advanced. It's a much more complicated machine.
Les is just pressuring Gorgon to make these connections because he's seeing conspiracies.
Gorgy has no idea what you're hinting or implying.
He's just basically saying, look how smooth everything's running here. Have a look at their equipment. Do you think they're highly advanced like the loom was?
Gorgon looks around and throws down a knowledge engineering.
Gamry's
11?
looking around to see if there's women here and to see if it might be a suitable place for Abigail to live.
You don't. There is the odd woman around.
Russell, have you ever been to Timmins?
It looks like it's mostly men, miners.
Maybe she'd like that.
Gorgon, as you look around, you notice that they're using water wheels to power some of their different things, like for processing the different ores, and it looks like they're pumping some water out of the mines as well with them. So you make your way up to the top of the hill and enter Charles Delaney's residence. As you enter, you notice that there is a vast amount of different oddities around. There's some stuffed animals, there's drawings up on the walls, there's some skeletons. The tables are covered with books and instruments and papers. It's quite messy in here, actually. After some time, you come to none other than
Charles Dickens.
Mr. Delaney.
Charles Delaney. What's he look like?
Oh,
He's
That damn it.
working over a what appears to be two kettles. He greets you as you enter.
Can we take Abigail with us?
You guys.
Maybe he'll fancy her.
We have brought you a wife. Now tell us your secrets.
BRB.
This isn't a puzzle game.
Before you can,
Give him a Horus. Maybe a cutscene will start.
before you can address him, he holds up a hand for quiet as he intently watches the two kettles. They both begin to steam, and he sort of snaps his fingers and then looks up to you and says, "What is it? More workers? You're looking for a position here at our mine?"
Well, that's not quite it. Carl Joe, the person, does not know why we are here. We're supposed to warn him about something.
Good thing we keep a journal and you record these.
And VODs.
Anna says we're more messengers actually, Charles. Virgil Rudder sent us.
Virgil sent you. That's quite odd. What was the message?
Unfortunately, not a message you'll like. Are we pretty secure in here? Like, there's nobody waiting by the door.
Yeah,
or anything?
the miner, he left. It's just you.
So Anna still sort of like looks around, if only to body language be like, you know, there's something that she has to tell him, and then says, we're sent in regards to your messages between he and the. Sorry, going through my notes.
Clifton's.
The Clifton family.
Sort of a look of surprise comes over his face. Really? And what is it regarding?
Unfortunately, the Cliftons were found murdered about 5 days ago.
He's surprised, and then he sort of heavily sits down in a chair. Really? This is not good. So what does Virgil say?
Well, we were sort of mixed up in all of this, and while several of us knew Virgil, a few of us are outsiders. I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Anna.
Ah, of course. Welcome, Anna. My name's Charles Delaney. He extends his hand.
We were sent. Virgil was worried that you could be in danger. We suspect that the murderer could have been the marshal. He was attempting to intercept your messages with him, and Anna will reach into her bag, and I think, presumably, if Virgil didn't take them from us, I'll show the coded messages to him. If not, I'll just tell him. We found your messages. The marshal intercept them. Virgil was worried that they might make a move for you next.
He says, I see. Well, it was very good that you came to see me. I will have to remove some of my items from my home. Hide them.
We can take them.
What makes circumstances perhaps more dire, Charles? Virgil didn't spell it out for us, but unfortunately we might have brought more danger here than what you might be prepared for.
How so?
Well, the marshal, and as well as some members of the Andarian Order, are pursuing us. You see, our companion here, Sir Gamry, he has been falsely accused of the murder of the Cliftons. We took him with us so that he too wouldn't fall under the headsman's axe, but maybe it wasn't the smartest decision. We might have brought more danger here than you were expecting.
He's a loose cannon.
The Andarian Order was investigating Virgil, then they will undoubtedly be coming this way as well. How long ago did you leave Dunford? It's been like 3 years.
It took us about 5 days to get here.
I see. Well, I would expect them to show up shortly if they were there in Dunford as well. And you
Maybe
say
there's
that they were
someplace-
looking for you.
and we believe they may. Well, they're looking for Gamry, and unfortunately, the rest of us may be guilty by association. Should I make like a bluff check to try to like? I mean, I'm not lying to him, but I'm not telling him that we were like whipping spells at people the whole way.
Yeah, I guess a bluff is probably a good idea.
I'll tell him, perhaps you have a safe place for all of us to stay if the Endarum order arrives. 19.
He says,
That's a
well,
19 bluff.
if they do arrive here, then it might be pertinent for you to travel into the forest some distance and hide somewhere. If you were to stay in one of our buildings here, it is possible that they could find you.
What about you? You're confident that the Endarum won't accuse you? That seemed to be what Virgil was concerned about.
If I send any incriminating items I have with you, and you return shortly after, then that should alleviate their suspicions. If I don't have anything to be guilty of, then there's nothing that they can do.
It might
I
take a
once
bit of
believed
gold to
that.
convince our carriage rider to take more contraband on with us. Les speaks
I
up.
see.
Sorry, not more, Leslie. Take contraband with us. Anna sort of looks at Leslie like, what are you doing?
I meant. yes, thank you. Pardon me.
We're
Take
also
contraband.
trafficking.
Yes.
We are also
You did-
trafficking drugs.
You did have the book in the notes, so...
Yeah, no, but we
It's
don't
not.
want them to know that.
Oh,
Like,
okay, fair enough.
he was
Actually,
just
I
correcting-
forgot
Well,
about
he
that.
already handed it over, so...
Oh, okay.
Charles
you
isn't-
fucked up.
True.
Okay,
Charles
fair
isn't
enough. No, he
suspicious.
didn't. He didn't.
That's all I meant was that book there.
Definitely not mages.
Nothing.
None of us are
no,
mages,
we
though.
don't use magic.
We hate mages.
In fact, we killed some on the way here.
But wait
Yes.
a minute, you're a mage.
Shut up,
He
Corgan.
says, I believe I could compensate your carriage driver for his continued service.
That would be most helpful. If you just hand it to one of us, we'll make sure he gets it.
Charles, are you sure that this will be enough?
Err.
I'm sorry, but the men that did away with the Cliftons were worried that they might not be so scrupulous as to worry about what you may or may not have on your person. We believe that the Cliftons were murdered by the thief chasers in Dunford.
I see.
That's a good point.
Was it the thief chasers who pursued you, though, or was it the Endarum order?
We believe it may be either one. It may be both.
Didn't Orville say he was a part of the order?
Yeah, Orville wasn't
Of
really.
the order,
Yeah.
which is actually a separate organization than the Endarum order.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's-
Oh.
Yeah, Orville was kind of.
Isn't
Not
there also the
connected.
Order of Nine?
Correct.
Yes,
Oh man, we really
Oh
gotta
man,
be
there's
looking at
so
some of
many
these things.
orders.
I made the first order.
We're gonna
Actually, I had mine written before you posted them. I
Damn
just
it.
didn't have-
Yeah, well, you didn't post it.
Well,
Hey, you named it the ambiguous the order. So,
the ambiguous nine.
anyways,
Um,
not a big deal. There was actually a lot of orders, anyways.
Just-
in
You
terms
guys
of-
have
ensure that you have protection if they do come to speak with you.
Leslie. You really think that Charles could stand a chance against them? They murdered the Cliftons in cold blood.
I would just hope that if he
Who was
had,
it who murdered the Cliftons, you say?
Well, we really haven't gotten to that part of the
Sweet.
mystery yet.
Yeah, you
but
guys.
we do have suspicions that it was the marshal, or perhaps someone working under him. That Henry fellow.
Right.
It was the thief taker. Well, it sounds to me, from what you've described, that the Endarum are doing their jobs. If it is merely them who show up, I am not too concerned. If it is a couple of thief takers, well, I have many miners here, and I do not think that they would try anything. I believe I shall be safe. I am a man of